Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about the Kittenish Glow Palette. There's so much glow going on, you can't even see it. This is the Glow Palette by Jessie James Decker, and it is out of stock right now. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer out right now. It is out of stock, but she said she will be restocking soon, so you know, just watch out for that. Also, this is pretty much like a beginner video, so if you don't know how to contour or you don't really know how to use these palettes that have a highlight and a blush and multiple bronzers, I'm going to show you how. If you do not have this palette, all you have to do is get a bronzer, get your highlighter, and a blush. Same thing, just different creator, you know, all that jazz. So go ahead and get your stuff and then practice with me. Like I said, this is going to be for someone who maybe just doesn't really know how to use the palette. Say you ordered it, you don't really know how to use it, or you haven't used it yet. I'm going to show you how. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to throw a few products on my face just so I do have a face on, and then we will jump into how to use this palette. So first off, I've already like primed and moisturized. Now I'm going to jump in with my concealer stick. And I think I actually forgot a few things, but it's okay. We'll just use what we have. Okay, so I'm going to take my concealer stick and I'm just going to kind of draw all over my face. And it is lighter actually than my skin tone right now because I have fake tanner on, so I'll have to bronze that up, which is really no problem. Okay, so I dot that all over my face, and all of these products I will list below for you guys, so don't worry about jotting them down real fast. We're going to wet a beauty blender just with any kind of face spray that you have, just to dampen it up, or you can use water, whatever is convenient for you. And then we're just going to take it and blot it into our skin. Once you have blended out your foundation, whichever one it may be, then we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of concealer, and you just want to conceal those areas that are red, that are dark, that you want to highlight, and then we're going to blend those out. You can take the same beauty blender if you want, or a brush, or your finger, and just kind of blend it out. Okay, once you have done that, go ahead and set your under eyes with a powder. I use the Airspun powder, which of course I'll link below for you guys. And then my typical brush that I use is in my purse, so I'm just going to take this beauty blender and just go under. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with a powder. I'm using the Becca Blur powder. And I'm just going to take a really big, this is a Sigma tapered face brush, and I'm just going to kind of press it into my skin. This powder does have a little bit of color to it. It's not translucent like the Airspun is. And if you live anywhere where the heat is insane, like I live in Oklahoma, and right now it is just crazy, your makeup, it's not going to stay on your face if you do not set it. So make sure you set your foundation and your concealer really well. If you feel too powdery, all you have to do is take a face spray, spray it over, and it will help that. Okay, and then real quick, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows a little bit. They're already kind of filled in, but I'm just going to touch them up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips. This is the color Subculture by MAC. And because I didn't bring my lipstick in here, what I'm going to do is just fill my lips in with my lip liner. And then I'm just going to take like a pink clear gloss and apply it over top. Okay, so it's called Cocoa. It is by Mellow, and it's a baked shadow, and it just looks like this. I've used this for, I think, about a year now, and it's just one of my favorite go-to shades. It's kind of just that brown, but it has a little bit of bronze in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I already, of course, set the concealer on my lids. So I'm going to take this color, and I'm just going to go in the crease with a brush, just small brush like this. So I'm just going to chisel out that crease. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not layering 5 different shadows for you. I'm just putting one shadow in the crease of my eye. And then we're going to take a short shader brush and we're going to drag it down underneath our lash line, our bottom lash line. This is a short shader. If you don't know what a short shader is, just a small chubby brush. So you can see our face is like one blank canvas besides those areas that we did. My skin is all one color, which is never fun for me. Of course, anybody that does makeup, contouring is like something you jump into as soon as you get your powder and foundation on, but I just wanted to let mine kind of sit for a second. Okay, so this palette, this is what the inside looks like. As you can see, I mean, these pans are pretty big. It comes with a highlighter, a blush, and then you have a deeper bronzer, and then you have a lighter bronzer. This bronzer you want to use very, very lightly, because if you use too much of it, you're going to look dirty, you're going to look orange, so you have to be careful. This one is more, it's called Cocoa, and it is like a cocoa light brown color. And then it also comes with this pretty brush right here. So when I purchased this, before I did, I was like, oh, that price seems like a little bit high. I'm not sure. I have a ton of palettes. And then once I got it, I was like, okay, this totally makes sense. These pans are so big, for one, plus you get a brush. So, and this brush is like really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to dip it into the Cocoa. So we're going to do a little bit in the Cocoa. And we're going to take this and we're just going to tap it off. And then you are going to bronze up those areas where you would naturally kind of burn. So think about your forehead, your cheekbones, a little bit on your nose, and then of course you won't really burn down here, but we're going to chisel off that jaw anyways, especially for my pregnant face. Okay, so we're going to suck in that cheek. And you're just taking kind of the tip. You're not taking this whole brush on your cheek, you're just lightly doing the tip of it. That way you can chisel out your jaw or your cheekbone. And now we're going to go over and do the other side. I also like to get on my cheekbones with this bronzer, just because I feel like it just looks more of a healthy glow when you have a little bit of bronzer there instead of just pink blush. You can go back, add a little bit more as needed. And I'm going to add a little bit more up here. And then I'm going to go down to my jawline. A little bit on my chin. And then we just want to kind of blend up a little bit right here. That way, when it comes to your cheek color and your jaw color, this isn't just a plain white or lighter color too much. But that's just the way I prefer to do it because I like my makeup to blend. I don't like harsh lines. That's why I don't really bake my face, because I don't like that harsh, crazy contour line or lighter color too much. But that's just the way I prefer to do it because I like my makeup to blend. I don't like harsh lines. That's why I don't really bake my face, because I don't like that harsh, crazy contour line. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and take the deeper bronze. It's called Maui Me. And I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush. So this is just like a blush brush. But I'm going to take the top of it. And as you can see, we're going to put a little bit just like that. Tap off as much as you can. And then we're going to suck in that cheek and we're going to chisel it out just a tiny bit more. As you can see, I'm doing tiny circles, and I'm just doing a little bit at a time and then adding more as needed. And then we're going to go to this side and do the same thing. And then take a little bit on your forehead just to kind of blend in all those colors. And I'm going to take this and go back in the cocoa real quick, and I'm going to go down my nose. Usually I have a smaller brush, but I don't have it with me. So what I'm going to do is pinch this brush, just kind of tap it, and then go down my nose. You always have to learn to work with what you have when it comes to makeup. Especially if you want to be a makeup artist or anything like that, you have to learn to work with your hands and the tools that you have, because there could be sometimes that you forget a product or something and you just have to know how to fake it till you make it. Alright, we're going to go under the lip a little bit. And what this does is it creates a little bit of a shadow to kind of plump out that bottom lip a little bit more. Okay, so once you have your contour done, then we're going to go in, just kind of take a bigger blush, make sure everything's blended and you don't have any harsh lines. The colors are just nice and blendable. It is not hard to blend these colors whatsoever. They just lightly go on your face. They're not too powdery. They are a little bit powdery, but they're not too powdery. They don't really have that creamy kind of consistency like a lot of bronzers and palettes can have. And by creamy, I don't mean like a cream. I mean just like a softer, buttery kind of feel. It doesn't really have that, so it just blends a lot easier on your skin, which is also really good for anybody that is learning to contour or do makeup, because if you have a really creamy product or maybe one that doesn't move as well, then you're gonna look dirty. So this palette, I feel like, does not make you look dirty whatsoever. Okay, so we're gonna put the pink, it's called Rose Cheeks, on the apples of our cheeks. And I just want to do the apples because you just want that natural part where if someone were to pinch you or you pinch yourself and it turns red, that's where you want to put your blush at. And then you want to go back and take a little bit more of the cocoa bronzer and just go over it a little bit, because you don't want your blush to kind of wash out your contour. You're going to highlight. And so I'm going to take this little brush right here. This is a Morphe brush, and it's an M510. And I'm going to spray a little bit of this space spray on there. Just kind of tap it off, let it dry a little bit. I had to move my camera, by the way. My camera died, so just in case my screen looks different, that's why. Okay, so we're going to take this moon dust and we're going to go ahead and drag it down our nose. And then we're going to take a little bit above our lip. Now, key here, let me tell you. Anyone that highlights above their lip, please, please, please make sure you line your lips with liner. Do not let this white powder dust over the top of your lip to make you look like you don't have a top lip, because it will do that if you are not lining your lips correctly. So make sure you line your lips, and then you want to put the smallest amount above your lip line. Do not make it look like you're sweaty or you don't have a top lip. Just put a tiny bit. That is my pro tip. Pro tip, glow tip. Dang it, that could like be a new thing. Glow tips. Anyways, okay, so we're going to take a little bit more, and now we are going to highlight our cheekbone. So you just want to smile, and we're going to go in a C kind of motion. Add a little more as you need it. And then we're going to take, I'm going to spray my brush just a little bit more. Then we're going to go back in, add a little bit more. Now as you can see, it's just leaving a really pretty highlight that's not overbearing, but it is nice and shiny and pretty. Now you can even take your finger, take a little bit of this, and you can stick it in the corner of your eye. Just kind of make that inner corner pop a little bit. Just make sure to blend it out so it's not clumped up. And then you could also take it and go underneath your brows a little bit. I like taking one palette and using it as much as I can. So normally, instead of using, if I was like in more of a hurry, what I would have done is instead of applying that cocoa eyeshadow, I would just take the cocoa bronzer and just kind of dust it in my crease just to kind of define it a little bit more. Okay guys, that is my entire look. That is how you use this gorgeous palette. Super simple, super easy. My main thing is just with that deeper color, you want to be very, very careful, because if you are a very light person, then using this color can make you look orange, and we don't want that. So make sure you just use a little bit at a time. It's easier to apply than to take away. So make sure that you just remember that when you're using any kind of bronzer or any makeup in general. I'm also going to take this and just spray my face a little bit. That way it kind of gives more of a shine and glow and not so powdery. Alright guys, and that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was easy. If you have questions, drop them down below. I will list all these products down in the description bar for you. Remember, this palette is out of stock, but she is going to bring it back, she said. So make sure you look out for it. I do love it. I think it's a good investment. The palette is gorgeous itself. It comes with a brush, and a really good brush. The pans are huge. The product is blendable, so I definitely give it a thumbs up. Definitely check it out, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.